Let's look at this problem. Alice has 24 apples. In how many ways can she share them with Becky and Chris so that each of the three people has at least 2 apples? This is an interesting counting problem. In here, we'll introduce 2 methods. One is to use a brute force to do the counting, and the other way is by constructing a small mathematical model. Alright, let's look at the method 1. In method 1, let's say we have 24 apples, right? We'll do the counting by brute force. Something like this. So we know that this is 24 apples. Alright, so now let's start from Alice. And Alice has to take 2 apples. So she will get 2 apples. That's for Alice. Then if Becky get 2 apples, like this, Chris will get the rest of the apples. If Becky gets 3 apples, and Chris will get the rest. Okay, so Becky can get from 2 all the way to here, right? So let's say this is fourth. This is the 4th apple. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if Becky get the 3rd and the 4th, all the way up to this is 22nd. And this is 23rd and 24th, right? So Becky can get from 4 all the way to 22nd. So she has 22 minus 4 plus 1. That equals 19. So Becky has 19 choices. And of course Chris will get whatever that is left over. And this is when Alice only keep 2 apples for herself. But what if Alice got 3? If Alice get 3, then Becky should get from the 5th apple all the way to 22nd, right? So Becky B will get from the 5th, the 4th and the 5th to 22nd. And the total number of choice is 22 minus 5 plus 1, which is 18. And if we do all of the counting all the way up to here, this is the 20th, right? So the most Alice can get is 20 apples, because she has to leave at least 4 apples for the rest of the 2 people. Therefore, Alice can get up to 20 apples, right? And in that scenario, Becky will only get the 21st and the 22nd, right? From 22 to 22. Becky only has 1 choice because he can only take 2 apples. And there are only 2 apples left for Chris. So this is 22 minus 22 plus 1, that is 1. There's only 1 choice. Therefore, when we add these numbers up, that is the total number of ways that they can distribute the apples. Then what is the sum? It is 19 plus 1 times 19 over 2, right? So that's 20 times 19 divided by 2. So that's 10 times 19, which is 190. There are 190 ways. Therefore, our choice is C. Good. So that's method 1. This is by brute force. We just go over all the possible cases, and the only thing we need to be careful is we should find a clean pattern. Don't overcount or miss any cases. Now let's look at method 2. And actually in such scenarios, I recommend method 2 better, because it is a cleaner way and it's less likely to make mistakes. Don't forget, in this problem, each of the 3 people has to have 2 apples at least. Then why not we take out 3 apples? And then we put these 3 apples aside and give 1 to each of the 3 people, so that each of them have at least 1 apple already. Now there's only 24 minus 3 equals 21 apples left, right? Let's draw these 21 apples all the way up to here. And now we only have 21 apples left. Now we want to divide these 21 apples among these 3 people, so that each of them have at least 1 apple. Then that is good enough, because each of them has already have 1 apples from these 3, right? Then this is equivalent to putting 2 small bars between these apples, right? Between the 21 apples, there are 20 spaces, right? 20 spaces between each pair of 2 adjacent apples. Good. So we need to pick 2 spaces out of the 20 spaces so as to put these 2 small bars. And that is the way that we divide these 21 apples between these 3 people. And how many ways to do that? That is 20 choose 2, right? And that equals 20 factorial divided by 18 factorial times 2 factorial. So that is 19 times 20 divided by 2, which is 190 as well. Therefore, we get the same solution as the method 1. Our answer is still C. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe the channel. If you have questions, please leave a comment.